right.
I think we're live.
All right. I think we're live. All right, everybody. This is Long Box Diving, and we have Gil on from Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, which is his ongoing Indiegogo campaign. So, Gil, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've been crowdfunding comics for about 5 years, and I don't think I have plans of stopping. And I kind of I'm enjoying it, even the stress that comes with it. But it's just part of the game. It's part of the grind. We all have things we enjoy doing, and you got to start from somewhere. So, this is my story so far.
Now, we like to ask everybody, because we're comic geeks. And when did you get into comics?
Man, I grew up when they were on a spinner rack, and you can pretty much get them at any place, pharmacies, supermarkets. I want to say that must have been like in my maybe like 8-year-old, 7-year-old around. Since then, I started just pulling them out, and I was hooked since then, man.
So what did you collect?
I like Spider-Man. I liked Batman. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a big one for me. And just random stuff. I collected just stuff at random. Like if there was something that just caught my eye, I grabbed it. Pretty much anything also that I was into at the time. There was, I remember being into Vietnam. I had my stage. I was into Vietnam War movies, Platoon and Full Metal Jacket. And I remember just scoping out a book. Punisher, Jesus Christ, thank you, I love Punisher. Punisher. Oh my gosh, this is a sad story. I had issue number 1. Okay, the one where he's peeking out the window with the rocket launcher. I think it is. Oh, dude, and I
don't have it anymore?
I don't want to talk about that. Just took me to a dark place. But yeah, man, that's just
it's over.
Sure.
Let's just that's it.
We ended on a loss that way. Oh my god. One day, I don't know. Is it that expensive now, that Punisher issue?
I don't know, but it just I had a bunch. And I went to summer camp.
Yeah,
I had Gambit's first appearance. I had a bunch of stuff as a kid. And I went to summer camp, and I came back, and my little brother sold all my comics for bubblegum.
For bubblegum,
I get a double-mint strip of gum every week for the rest of my life. I'm like, no.
Oh my god, is he still your brother by chance?
He is still my brother. We have reconciled some of our differences. I still hold that against him. Yeah, he owes me at current. He owes me almost $1 million.
Jesus,
keeping track.
I hope.
Because I had a lot of comics. He never pay back, but
you never know. Dude, that's rough, man. But hey, that's what family's for, right? If you ain't have any good stories, you got to have some nightmare stories along with it. So that's just
true.
Long live brotherhood.
Now, is this your first book, or you said you've been doing campaigns for a while?
I've done campaigns for a bit. I've crowdfunded. Let me see. I got Under the Flesh, which was who doesn't have a post-apocalyptic end of the world story, right? I think we all have those in the back of our mind, right? So that was my first one. I did that up to 3 issues. And then my artist he was doing some Marvel work, so he kind of got backed up, and it's on hold. Like anything good, you put it on hold, right? Star Wars was on hold for a long time, so like
it can always come back. It can always come back.
That's one that's definitely not abandoned, definitely going to come back. Then I did Lair, which is kind of like Tales from the Crypt, Twilight Zone, urban, dark, supernatural. And then I did my Western. I wanted to do a Western. I had Pistoleta, which is like a Tarantino-esque vendetta Western. I was able to crowdfund that. And then I'm like, considering the landscape with comics, I'm like, I'm going back to fun. I want to just go balls out fun. Anthropomorphic, like Ninja Turtles, because that's what I remember being fun growing up. That goody goodness fun, like that's for me was just Ninja Turtles. And I'm like, okay, I want to do something like that. But add a little Star Wars mystique or Guardians of the Galaxy vibe to it. And that's when, Galactic Rodents of Mayhem eventually came to be.
Yeah, because I was looking at this cover, and the first thing that popped in my head was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then right after that was Warhammer 40K.
I've heard people say that on some groups that I've posted on. A lot of people said that, and I compliment as well, because when you look at the universe there with the Warhammer and the art, and it's powerful. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Space Knights with the armor, and I was like, man, that looks really good. Yeah, so we were reading over your stuff here, and man, it looks really good. So give us a rundown. Now, first of all,
how
do you pronounce it?
Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, you mean? Oh, capybaras. Okay, yeah. So capybaras, they're pretty interesting animals, man. I didn't even know they existed. To be honest with you, I'd be lying if I said I knew. My artist pretty much suggested it when I'm like, listen, man, this is what I got in mind, and I kind of told him, because he worked with me on Lair. He's like, okay, so I'm like, we need the animal. And I'm like, should we do? I was like thinking. He's like capybaras. I'm like, what? And I was like, you, dude, I never heard of it. I'm like, it sounded cool. I'm like, capybara. It just sounds awesome. I'm like, what? And this is what he sold me. He just told me pretty straight up. He's like, hey, man. He's like, they're chill. That's all he said. He's like, they're chill, just like that. Then he said they're the largest rodent. And then I was like, okay, you think of, I didn't even know biker mice of Mars even existed. I started hearing a lot of the biker mice from Mars references because of this. They're like, oh, it's like biker mice from Mars. I'm like, biker mice from what? Sadly, that went under my radar. I guess I was such a diehard Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fanboy that I don't want to have nothing to do with anything else. So I didn't even know. But then when I was researching more about capybaras, they're pretty much the biggest rodent in the world. They're like the size of a boar, a pit bull, or just hulking big. And then they're so chill, they're so mellow, they're calm. They get along with all kinds of animals, even crocodiles, which I thought was crazy. And then I Googled it, and there's like multiple images of them with crocodiles. I'm like, okay, that was giving me the fuel needed to like bring these guys to life. I'm like, okay, this is too good. And then that's when everything came to be.
Hey, can you imagine, so that dude right there, he's a rat. Nobody's gonna mess with that.
Dude, that's the thing. People are like rats. I'm like, listen, I mean, the story on the logo too. You see the logo, the face right there.
Yeah.
Before that, it was actually like a rat face, a mouse face, right? And what I didn't know, interesting enough, is that the person I had hired to do the logo, he literally copy and pasted the mouse from a South African rap duo called D Antwoord or something like that. And it's literally the same exact dude. I have to. I'll tweet it to you for kicks, just so for after the show you can see it. But dude, and that was the thing. Like it was like, okay, because of that logo, people always they're thinking it's rats and this and that and the biker mice from Mars. Until that we figured it out. It was like basically cut and paste copy stolen. That's when the artist, the Sebastian, the artist on this, he out of just, I guess, what you call annoyance, he literally just in about 2 minutes, he came up with the capybara face. And I think that just really cemented it and really gave us that identity. And then putting capybaras on the map as well.
Yeah, it looks great. And it's interesting enough, I'm an avid reader, and I just literally finished a book where the main AI that the person is talking to is a capybara.
Come on.
I was like, what? And then I saw this. I'm like, are you kidding? It's like the universe trying to tell me something. Let me see.
What the heck book is that? That's pretty distinct, man. I mean, because capybaras talking to an AI capybara. Oh my god!
I was thinking the same thing. Like, I mean, really, of all the things to come up with.
No, that's pretty. That's distinct.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, please. I'm definitely
Kindle somewhere. Yeah, but, that was. I was like, man. And then I was looking at the art here. The art looks great. So give us a rundown of the story. What's happening here?
So pretty much, I mean, I went with we got these capybara bounty hunters, and they're great at what they do. They have a gecko, a gunslinging gecko, who's their father figure, and he's done some stuff. And basically, he kind of is the one that triggers this $100 million bounty that gets thrown on their head. And pretty much the whole book, I want to say about 80% of the book is just like a cat and mouse chase, just trying to escape everything that's being tossed their way. And the antagonist, I mean, because they face so many antagonists, but the main antagonist, it's a play on like Star Wars. His name is Dark Raider, not Darth Vader, obviously, but Dark Raider. And he's the head of what I like to call space. And that's the Space Police Authority and Command Enterprises. So they're like literally the good guys that police and govern the galaxy. So they're in a hot mess. And I take it up from there, and it goes on, and I do my best to explain about the characters, to show there's inner turmoil within the group, and then there's external conflict. Like there's just a lot going on, and I basically wanted to create something in my heart of hearts that I feel like comic book readers would enjoy reading. I'm like, I wanted to do something, and I grew up on video games as well. cinema. So I don't know. So I don't know. I guess some there that's like underlying like how I kind of like ended up finishing the 104-page script. So it's definitely going to be something different and unique as far as graphic novels are concerned anyway, too, because it's just I did it all and I wanted it to be short. We're aiming for 40 pages because of budget. But when everything was coming together,
aiming for 40 and you hit 102.
Yeah, it's just like I couldn't. It's just the way it was coming. I just couldn't put a chain on it. I just had to let it be.
Overshoot there.
I had to let it be. I know if I don't fund this campaign, I already got how I'm gonna bring it back. It's still gonna be that amount of pages, but I'm thinking of maybe just keeping it like black and white, how Mirage did theirs, and then maybe stretch goals could be through coloring. If we don't make the goal, I mean, we still got 30 days, a whole month to go. And there's still a lot more grinding to go. So if we were able to make it, it'd be great because the colors are phenomenal.
Yeah, looking at that, it looks fantastic. Though it does sound like you have a little bit of a Firefly-esque story there.
Yeah, and you know what? I love what's his name? Oh gosh. It's like the main guy. You're gonna say it. I'm gonna be like, yeah, Nathan Fillion. Duh, Jesus Christ. I love his character. I always love his character. But Firefly was one that I literally had to kind of like figure out like, wow, there's a lot of stuff that I wasn't even privy to. But when I got wind of Firefly, there's definitely a Firefly-esque vibe. There's definitely a Cowboy Bebop type of vibe with the art. Yeah, right. Bebop. Like my Sebastian's a big fan of Cowboy Bebop. So there's a lot of influences from all over, anime included. That's kind of like honing into this book. They're being attracted from everywhere. And that's why it's going to be special. Like it's old. It's kind of like, it's new stuff, but like based on like the old stuff that I feel that's awesome with comics and pulling on that nostalgia too. Stuff
that's worked, and it people enjoy.
Yeah, that's what I want to do, man. I want to show that you can make it fun, but at the same time, we do have we have a deep and dark storyline, and there's some heavy subject matter within it. And also with any story, if you're good, you want to put a message there somewhere. There's got to be some kind of message, and I definitely got a message going on in there. So it's not just going to be fun popcorn. No, we're going to hit you in the feels.
Oh, that's good. So we got some main characters here. I see a couple of them are Bash, Ripple, and Mona Lisa.
Yes, Bash is our tank type character. So if he was in a game, Warhammer, he'd be your tank. Ripple, he's just like the jack of all trades, ace up your sleeve. He's just
the Han Solo.
Yeah, he's the mellow Han Solo. He's weird though. I don't know how I'm writing him. He's like mellow, but then he has bits of explosiveness, and those shades never come off. So he's just a different kind of character, but unique in his own right. He's fun. And then Mona Lisa, she's like your tech gadget, katana wielding. I see her as like a mix between like Donatello and Raphael with some punky booster spunk thrown in for good measure. She's a different kind of character. They're unique, but there's a lot of influence and connections from other, subconsciously from other popular culture references that I put in there when I'm making them.
You ever read the comic book called The Losers?
Haven't had the pleasure. Who wrote that one?
I didn't see it's
Losers.
I know Jock did the art. I can't remember who actually wrote the comic, but he had a guy in there that was
let's see if I could Google it.
Andy Diggle.
Andy Diggle.
Andy Diggle and Jock, and they had a dude in there. The sniper was a lot like your Ripple. I mean, it was just chill. He never said anything.
Yeah.
Hung back with a sniper rifle. Had a cowboy hat he always wore.
Oh, nice. I like this guy.
Yeah. I like those kind of characters. I mean,
you're gonna like Ripple because he's the pilot of our like flagship, that little orange ship there with the white little racing stripe. That's the Burning Rose. That's like our Millennium Falcon, and Ripple's a pilot of that bad boy. I mean, so he got his moments, man. He has his moments.
Then we got, and so this is the tank.
Yeah.
Right, and that's Ripple, and that's Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
Nice.
Got a little capybara trio right there.
And this is our Gecko gunslinger.
Yeah, he's our tri-wielding Gecko gunslinger father figure. So he only got 2 arms, but he tri-wields. I definitely reveal that through the book, and it's pretty interesting how that comes about. He's actually, to be honest with you, he's my like Han Solo kind of type character. But a Han Solo who's not afraid to show his feelings. because he's older already. You know, he's a father figure. So, you know, Han Solo, he can't show his feelings. You can't say I love you, but he's already, man, he's a father figure. He's been through his fair share of bounty hunting. So I get torn up about him because he's a special character. Let's just put it that way.
When I was looking at that, I saw the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah, there's Eastwood in there. He got some Eastwood in there. I saw
that Eastwood with the hat. And poncho, and he kind of looks up like that, and I saw the cigarette. I was like, I could just see the cigar.
Sebastian put that touch in there, and he knows what he's doing. He got full freedom with the characters. I put them how I want them, and he adds touches, and they're a culmination of just both our sensibilities in there.
Yeah, look at the spaceship right there, man. Yeah, he is my resident artist, so I'm easily. I like a lot of stuff, and so I'm like, "Hey, does that look good to you?" And he goes, "Yeah, that looks great."
If he likes it, it's a good sign, man.
Oh yeah, he likes it. Then I know. Okay, then it's not.
That's awesome.
It's not Dad going. This is awesome. Because I am a boomer, right? You're old. But yeah, when I first heard this introduced was the art on this one, where I guess that's and they're like, they're complaining about her breast size or something. What was that?
Oh yeah, man! Like I actually got someone, man. I posted it somewhere, and someone was like, "Are you trying to sexualize a capybara?"
Yeah.
And I thought that was just interesting to me because initially, from what they were saying, they liked it. Like, oh, I like this book. I want to support it. This and that. But I'm curious, and I want to ask you: are you trying to sexualize a capybara? And I'm like, I'm just trying to put out a good book. I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
And I don't know if they backed or not because I didn't see during that span when we were talking where I didn't see any.
I never saw a result.
Yeah,
it's a girl.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, I mean, if you making a character and it's anthropomorphic, I mean, there's human characteristics. I mean, females do have breasts. They do have, I don't know. I can't make a stick figure capybara and try to sell that. It's not interesting enough.
No,
and I like the whole femme fatale. I mean, is that sexual? I don't know if you see it that way. I don't she's wearing a femme fatale dress.
I would have never thought of a capybara in that way. But
I can't do that, man.
Girl, that's a guy, and she's in a little black dress. She's obviously had some type of outing of some sort that we have to dress up a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I don't have any. I don't got it. If they have any furry fantasies, maybe they hope they could achieve. I don't know. My thing is, I'm not trying to sexualize anything. I'm just trying to make a badass comic book and try to show different areas of the spectrum and be like, hey, we can market this character with the dress because we got a little pinup going on. That will offer to the backers at a certain tier. So again, this is just more immersion, just trying to make things fun and cool for the backers.
Yeah, that's what it needs to be. And looking at the art, I mean, you got a great artist here. The perspectives looks fantastic. Even the lines here drawn on this silhouette.
Yeah,
you can see they're moving. I mean,
he's getting better. Yeah, I worked with him with Lair, and I've just to watch him develop. I mean, it's crazy. Just because to see how he worked with Lair, but just to see through working on Lair and just seeing what he's putting out. Oh my gosh, I'm dumbfounded and like almost flabbergasted. I'm like, this is a treat. It's almost therapeutic to just see like each new page come out and like the detail that comes with it. It's incredible. I mean, anyone that creates stories and can have an artist put together a nice piece of work, it's just great.
And seeing your vision come alive. I mean, it's your heart in a sense.
Yeah, man, it's really special. It's really special. I think when you have a great artist.
Yeah, this one where he's grabbing the I was like, dude, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good chemistry. There's an artist that I can give that script to, and it'll look totally different. I mean, even with how I describe, with my panel descriptions, I don't like to go too crazy. I like to leave a freedom for the artist to do his work. I know Alan Moore and some of these other guys. They go really gung ho on maybe their. On how they do their scripts, but I leave a lot of freedom.
And I like it that way. I mean, when you have that collaboration and you have both artist and writer are passionate about what they're doing, and you can see it in the work. You can see it in the work, and it's definitely going to sell.
That's all I got to do. Just try to get more eyes on it, and that's where the grinding comes into promoting it because I think it looks cool, and I think for I think $25. I put $10 shipping. For 100, it's going to be probably over 110 pages when you do like credit pages and stuff like that. But Yeah, it's going to be cool. And the pages you're looking at here, this was like a separate 3-page pitch that Sebastian came up with this idea. He's like, let's just do a little separate story that's not even going to be what the main story is about and just throw it on the campaign. And I'm like, okay, great. I got to come up with something in 3 pages and try to make it work. I'm like, okay. And then we just came up with this, and it looked cool. It worked. And we'll add it as like
11.
Yeah, we'll add it as like at the end of the book, like after we do our little thank you credit pages, we'll just throw it in there like towards the end and just as a little like filler material or something. But it's still canon. It still shows. It basically shows how they got the ship, pretty much.
Who's doing your colors?
The guy I got for the colors, he's a great colorist, man. He blew our socks off literally once we gave him like the little test run, because our original colorist, he couldn't commit with Lair. He got into some stuff he couldn't commit, which was sad. We wanted him, but he was just on a different place. And we got a reference from my letterer, Davison, who does the letters. He's like, check this guy out, Mr. Barca, Tiago Barca. He did The Few and the Cursed on Kickstarter. I'm like, okay, cool, we'll check him out. So I talked to him. I'm like, hey, how's your schedule? Yeah, everything's good. We went through the pleasantries, and I gave him a black and white panel, and he did a little test run. And the test run he did was literally the cover page, because this one you're looking at here, this was like our original cover that we were going to use to promote the book, and has like this retro kind of Star Wars poster feel to it. Yeah. And the color on that was the original colorist, Mr. Davi Komodo. And I'm like, if we got a new colorist, I was like, I think we need a new image, let's go for it. And that's where Sebastian did the first cover that you guys seen, and Tiago did the color work on it. And we were like, okay, we got to make sure this guy, we got to make sure he's on this book, because it was just incredible. I can't explain. That's just
your new colorist.
Yeah, that's the new colors. Yeah, it's just a beautiful job. So, overall, we got a great team that's been around the block a few times and around the corner, and we got good quality here. It's professional quality. This kind of quality rivals what's coming out on mainstream. And that's the kind of stuff I always want to put out. It's stuff that it just looks like it could sit on a shelf.
Yeah, I think it easily, this is easy.
That's all I want to do.
Oh, what is this? Sniper Viper? Jeez.
Yeah, so I told you they come across many antagonists. So I got a Robo Shark. We got we have the Darth Raider, of course, and then we got Sniper Vipers. That I see them as like a cult, kind of like how Boba Fett had this little cult reception and this fandom. So I kind of see the Sniper Vipers in that way. So hopefully that could take off. And then we even got some fan art, which was pretty cool. Someone actually did a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan art, which I was just, wow. Yeah, I thought it was so cool. And for me, the back where you see Raphael with Mona Lisa, for me, that's the best part. I just like
eating pizza. I'm like, yep.
Yeah, I was just, oh man. Sometimes when people do stuff that kind of like blow your mind, I'm like, wow, I just never.
You just get all nerdy and you're like, oh,
dude, seriously, man. I'm sorry it's coming out.
I'm with you. I'm like, this is great. He's trying to put the chokehold with the bow staff.
Yeah, and then Michelangelo with the nunchucks trying to hold his arm down. It's just if we fund, I definitely want to do something with that. Maybe like some kind of just a small card or something to just put it in there, just because I just think it's cool.
So this is great
and then we got another. That's a beautiful. Oh man, Mona Lisa looks so good, right? People complain about her in the dress. But look at her here, looking like a full-on bounty hunter. The smoke billowing from the gun, the hair loose, just like attitude about business. The grenades on her hip, one's been used. That's Ted Lehman. He's a great artist, dude. He popped that one in because we have like a little fan art thing going on, and he put his name in the hat, and it looks good.
So we'll go over your tiers real quick. I know we're running out of time. But it looks like you've got some great tier stuff here. You get your featured one, which is the headshot pack. So what's included in that? Yeah,
here we got for those. If anyone missed out on Lair and anyone missed out on Pistolera, I just lumped those in, and you got 3 books coming your way. Definitely cool books, and people that read them, they enjoyed them, and I like it because they're not my family members, so I know their opinion is kind of not biased. It's just like, when someone's like, hey, I like your Pistoleta book. I like that the villain, you still humanized them. I like that, you had your like Obi-Wan Kenobi archetype there. And when people like that, it makes my day. So I'm on the right track. I'm getting there.
Yeah, there's only so much. Mom's going to say is great.
Mom, I don't
always
want you
says
reading myself. She praised everything. Like, okay.
My wife, on the other hand, will tell me straight up. And I appreciate.
You gotta love
that.
the wives, yeah. The
Because
wives
a
are awesome,
lot of times I'm thinking this is awesome. She's like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, she's kind of like, I love my wife to death, of course. And since she's not watching now, I could throw a little jabs in there, Maybe I shouldn't, but I'm gonna tell you, one thing she's a great support system, and she'll help me with my stories in a way that I don't even see. And I'll run by something and I'll run it by her, and she's like, no, that's not good. Like, and she's really spot on. I'm like, man, I didn't really think of that. So she's good at like spotting out, I guess kind of cliche type things, or just like, nah, that wouldn't work. And I don't know how she does it. And she's been a godsend. So
yeah, ladies, man, they see things differently, and a lot of times they're right. I was like the other night, I'm like, I'm going to say this, and no, you shouldn't say it like that.
Yeah. Okay. The one thing we clash on, this is kind of controversial. Like some of my books, like actually I'm trying to think. None of them I don't think have nudity. I don't think any of them do, right? But I'm working on a new book that I'm going to crowdfund hopefully next month with the artist that I worked on, Under the Flesh, and it's kind of like a Lovecraft meets Jaws. So to sell that, you got
tentacled sharks,
dude. It's what we have is definitely gonna just flip your mind.
Nobody will want to go swimming after that, man.
I hope so. But we got, JL's like, hey, listen, we gotta show something. I'm like, okay, we do it. We got to do it in a way that's not gratuitous, because I got to stick to my brand. And I ain't just trying to, because someone even asked me about this book, about the capybaras, when I teased that pinup. They're like, is there going to be...
You've already pushed it on the capybara thing, so... You've already pushed it on the capybara thing.
Yeah, but this was another one where they were asking me, like, if there were going to actually be titties shown in the book. Like, they literally asked me, like, will they be capybara titties? And I'm like, dude, I'm gonna have to disappoint you. I'm like, no. I'm like, the best you're gonna get is literally just a pinup. I mean, I'm not that book. I'm just not, But you get those questions, again. So what I'm trying to say is the wife with the nudity. I'm like, I get it, hon. I get it. I'm not ever gonna try to do anything gratuitous, hon. Believe me, hon. But as a writer, you still gotta stay true to the scene. Like in some ways,
calls for it.
But you exactly doing it in a way that's not gratuitous. Just make sure in that way. But yeah, so she comes in handy.
Oh yeah, they're good. All right, so we got the printed book.
Yeah,
and that's just the straight book, 104 pages, or the 40-page book with the 62-page bonus.
I think I should word it that way. It may be a good draw. Yeah, and that'll be signed. I sign all my books. If my book gets funded, I'm so happy. I just sign everyone's book. So that one will have a nice little personalized signature on the inside, an inner credit page from me, and so that'll be 25.
So we should definitely try to get you 10,000 backers. You there? So we lost Gilbert. Gilbert, it looks like we lost Gilbert there, and so I will finish with his spiel here. I'm looking at the back here. We have the printed book. I think he's saying he's actually going to have all those signed. He signs every book.
Yeah.
And like we told some other people, like we try to get him to 10,000 backers so that And I think he's back. Hey, Gil, you there?
Hey, yes, sir.
All right, man. So we're talking about the signed book.
Okay, yeah.
Everybody gets a signed book, and I was saying we should try to get you to 10,000. So you have to sign 10,000 at a time.
Oh, could you imagine? I don't know. There's I've seen some campaigns, man, that they go pretty high where there's over 1,000 backers. I don't know about signing that many, but that'd be a nice problem to have. If I get the carpal tunnel, I think I'll just tolerate it.
If you're signing some and the wife's signing some, and nobody will know.
Yeah, that's a good problem to have.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
So we got the collector's edition. It looks like you said you have something with an MP3. So are you having somebody read this?
I have a sound like a what is it, like a Saturday morning type theme song where if they get that, they'll get an MP3 to that, and hopefully if we reach a stretch goal, they'll get a soundtrack. For whoever backed that, they'll just get the soundtrack. They'll be upgraded, but yeah.
you've orchestrated a soundtrack?
I didn't. I wish I knew how to orchestrate things. I can't. The only thing I can orchestrate is a script. But I was fortunate enough to work with the same fellow who did the music for Lair, and I think I found him on Twitter, and somehow we crossed paths. And I'm a visual guy and I'm a cinema guy at the same time. So I love scores. I just love how it goes. Carl, thank you so much. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were talking about Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Back to that. It's great looking stuff, man.
Bucky O'Hare, even from the 80s. Yeah, definitely some inspiration there. But yeah, so the dude who did Lair, we got a little Star Wars opening crawl, which is a symphonic track that he put together. And then I wrote the script out to like a Saturday morning power anthem. And he nailed it so good. Like he nailed it. And I almost had tears after I heard the finished cut because I'm like, wow, this was pretty. I'm like, holy cow, this is good. So yeah, we're just more for the immersion. If you're gonna have a Saturday night, a book that calls or harks upon that, you need to back it up with some music.
Oh, yeah, you can actually read the book while listening to the music.
That would be cool. I listen to the theme song on my way to work. I know I'm silly in that way, but when you hear it, it's catchy. I've heard people say they can't get it out of their head. I'm like, that's a good thing,
And if you get the premium edition, you can listen to the soundtrack while reading the book while wearing the shirt,
while having the poster of our femme fatale Mona Lisa up to
full immersion right there. Full immersion.
There you go. I'm trying.
Man, like I say, it looks fantastic. Oh, go down to the team edition. We get a hat too. We haven't hit now we're at full immersion. You got to have the hat.
The hat, I got it on right now. Yep, it's a good luck hat for me.
Man, this looks fantastic. I think we hit our 30-minute mark, so I gotta let you go. But I do appreciate you coming on, and this looks really good. Yeah.
Guys, I appreciate having me on. Definitely looking forward to seeing some of your streams because you guys got a good team going here, and you guys handled yourself very professionally, and it was a great show. And who knows, maybe we could do one for the next book I got coming out if you don't mind.
Definitely.
If you don't mind hearing me ramble.
Oh no, man, I'm having fun. Like we like comics. We started our channel to kind of bring that old school local comic shop talk back.
Yeah.
And that's what we want is, just be able to sit down and talk about comics. So I'm glad you're able to spend some time with us and just show what you got and hopefully you get funded soon and quickly and that way we get on to the next one because
hopefully keep them fingers crossed. Thank you so much, guys, for having me on Long Box Diving. It was a blast. Take care, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for everybody showing up, and we'll see you here next time in the Long Box. Bye.
Later. Awesome.